regarding my earlier circuit of today, and that was this circuit of a square wave oscillator for maximum 40 kilohertz. Everything was explained in that earlier video, but I also had an idea that when this oscillator did not want to start, I needed an indication. Could be a light emitting diode or a beeper, and the idea in this video is a beeper. Say, when the oscillation in this circuit stops, or the oscillator doesn't want to start, and well, in many cases, almost always, there's no problem at all. Want to refer to my earlier video, but anyway, could be that in that case I need a beeper circuit to indicate that the oscillator is not oscillating. Well, that's the reality. And there are, by the way, many jokes by radio amateurs that the oscillator does not oscillate. Anyway, on my YouTube channel you can find tens, perhaps more than tens, oscillator circuits for shortwave, medium wave, 455 kilocycles, beat frequency oscillator, and in my books I have published many simple radio circuits that work between approximately 2 megacycles and 12 megacycles. But anyway, that's not the whole idea here in this video. Well, the idea in this video is a beeper that works on 60 volts or 55 volts, and this circuit, the square wave oscillator, gives out as the supply voltage 55 volts or 60 volts. That's the range. That's important. Of course, you don't want to burn out transistors on higher voltages. So that's a reason why I've taken here 10,000 ohm, a 10,000 ohm resistor here also. But to be sure that such a beeper always starts, I have used different here base resistors, 120k and here 68k. That's a kind of trick to make that such a stable multivibrator wants to start. Often they don't want to start. Sometimes they don't want to start. There's a kind of critical situation where such a multivibrator wants to start or does not do its job. Anyway, no problems with that. More in the earlier video. All the transistors here are BD139. So, well, let's see, look and listen what this circuit can bring. Looks a kind of sloppy with all these crocodile clips, but anyway, I now give that circuit here, this circuit, the voltage out of the square wave oscillator, and that is approximately 57 volts. And you can surely hear it beep. Quite irritating, of course. It's on a quite low frequency. I think in the order of 300 Hertz. But you can lift the frequency somewhat up by say using this 220 nanofarad capacitor. Of course, in such a case, say the capacitive value is half of that value. So that's logical, etc., etc. Let's listen again. So now I have, say, opened the switch, and that means that these two capacitors are now, the value of these two capacitors is now 100 nanofarad. That means that the frequency goes up. And finally, when you want to, say, use this circuit, you can use it also for organs, etc., etc., as long as you need a certain frequency out. Could be a sawtooth wave, could be a square wave. In this case it is a little bit a square wave. You can see it here. No, it's not a square wave, it's a sawtooth wave. Anyway, and you can surely hear that a sawtooth wave has a completely different frequency compared to a sine wave or a square wave. Anyway, that was more or less all to tell. Finally, I talk in this indication about a touch effect, and that's here in the schematic. When you touch with your hand the base of this transistor, it has a sure effect on how that second transistor works. Say it shortcuts its base set to a certain frequency and a certain voltage. It shortcuts it by, say, 50 Hertz out of your body, and you can surely hear that. So let me demonstrate that. Here the circuit again. I touch now with my finger here. Say 50 Hertz out of my body, sine wave. Combined, or not combined, but also not only combined, but say my the 50 Hertz out of my hand, my body, modulates via this transistor. 50 Hertz sine wave that you can pick up everywhere. Say where you live, when you have, say, a 50 Hertz mains or a 60 Hertz mains, and it modulates the first transistor. And well, that's only one idea of this whole video. Thanks for watching. I don't want to make it too long, but touching this electrode has an effect on the way that the square wave oscillator works. Do it again, and perhaps interesting to see switch off the voltage, the power supply again. Here. Interesting to see what exactly happens. It's a nasty sound, I don't like it anyway. So, touch that base of the transistor again. And perhaps there's a better way to show what happens. But anyway, I think it's a kind of modulation. Of course it's modulation anyway, completely logical, but well, that was all. Thanks for watching. The idea was to make a beeper for 60 volts. Going to integrate it in this circuit, and then especially when the oscillator does not want to work, stops on a certain moment, the beeper gets active and warns that the oscillation has stopped. So when you touch here the reset switch, the whole oscillation will start again. Thanks for watching.